kids! Today we are going to be talking about electricity and more specifically about electrical circuits. Most of you probably know something about electricity, have heard about it, and some of you may even know what electricity actually is. But do you have a clear definition of it? Today we are going to see a definition of electricity. Electricity is a form of energy which we use to power machines and electrical devices. But what kind of devices can we power with this kind of energy called electricity or electrical energy? Well, we can power devices such as laptops and phones. Can you think about any other devices we would be able to power with this electrical energy? So now that you know what electricity is, electricity or electrical energy, remember those two are synonyms. Now that you know what those are, you may wonder, but where do they come from? How do I get them home? How do I get them in my house? Alright, so today I'm going to give you the answer to that question. But first, we are going to learn two new concepts today, alright? Two new key concepts. The first one is electrical grid. So what's the electrical grid? Electrical grid is the infrastructure in which the electricity travels all the way from the power plant to your house, alright? Here it's this black infrastructure. I'm sure all of you have seen many electrical grids. Now, the second key concept in order to understand where electricity comes from is electrical current. And the electrical current is the movement of the electricity from the power plant to your house. So remember, first I said that the electrical grid is the infrastructure, and through this infrastructure we have a movement of electricity that is called electrical current, and that movement enables electricity to go from the power plant all the way to your house. Alright, so as I told you before, now we're going to see what an electrical circuit is. So what's an electrical circuit? How can we make one? And what do we need in order to make one? What are the different parts of a circuit? Alright, so first we will start with a simple definition of a circuit. A circuit is like a main pathway where electricity or electrical energy flows from the generator through the wires to the light bulb. Alright, that's what a circuit is. It's just a group of materials that permit electricity to flow around it, as we can see it here. This is also a switch, but don't worry. Our circuit that we will make in class won't have a switch, so you don't have to know what this is. The first part of the circuit is the battery, or what we also call generator. We call generator because the energy or the electricity or electrical energy is stored here in this battery, and then from here it goes to the rest of the circuit through the wires. So that's why we call it generator. Now, the next part of the circuit are the wires. But before I start talking about the wires, I'm going to introduce two new concepts today. The first concept are the insulators. The insulators are those materials or those objects that do not conduct electricity well. Can you give me some examples of insulators? For example, wood is an insulator, but can you come up with more insulators? And now the second concept. The second concept are the conductors. The conductors are those materials that do transmit electricity well. For example, metal. Can you give me other materials that are conductors? Alright, so now here in this picture, we can see how the wire has two parts. This wire has two parts. The inside of the wire is made of copper, which is a conductor, so that the electricity can go from the generator through the copper all the way to the light bulb. And the outside of the wire, which we can see here in red, is an insulator. So when we take the cable, it doesn't shock us with electricity, because plastic here is also an insulator. And just so you remember the concept we saw before, the movement of the electricity from the generator to the bulb is what we call Alright, and now the third part of the circuit, the bulb. The bulb is this that we see here, made of glass, and sometimes also we refer to the bulb as the light of the circuit. And we could say that this is the main part of the circuit, because our goal when we make the circuit in class will be to turn on this bulb, this light. If this bulb doesn't turn on, then that means that our circuit is not well done. Alright? And we need to also take into account that what this bulb does, what this light bulb does, is it transforms the electricity that comes from the generator into light. So here, what we have is an electricity that flows from the generator, and then when it comes to the bulb, it transforms into light. That's what the bulb does. Now that we have seen the last part of the circuit, now that we know the three parts that our circuit that we'll learn class has, we're going to explain a little bit how to make it. Alright, so you can learn, and I will also give you a link that will direct you to a web where you will be able to see how to make it, more specifically. There you will have some steps that you have to follow. So when you come to class, you know straight away what you have to do. Alright, so in order to make a circuit, we need those three parts that we have seen before: the generator, the wires, and the bulb. Remember that we are not going to use a switch. So what we have to do is connect the wire with the generator and with the light bulb. And here also the same thing, connect the wire with the generator, with the wire with the generator and with the light bulb. And that way we will have a simple circuit where electricity will flow from one way to another. And remember, to see and to watch and to learn how to do a circuit, follow the link that I will have given you in this video. And that's all for today. I hope you have liked the video, and I also would like to see that you are able to answer to all the questions that we have asked in this video. So thank you very much, and I will see you in class.